Hi, my name is Simran, and I'm a 21-year-old British Asian woman living in Bristol. Being born and bred in the UK, I've adopted the Western culture as my own, but I still maintain some of my Indian traditions. That being our food, our music, and my family's expectations of me. This may seem unusual to some, but in the South Asian community, there is a huge pressure for young women to be fair. Unfortunately, this isn't in regards to justice, but the colour of their skin. The preference for light skin is something that has been ingrained in me from a young age. A large influence for this is my grandmother. She was born in India but has lived here for well over 50 years. However, she still has some rigid ideologies in regards to beauty. She spoke to me about her obsession for fairness.
इंडियन लोकां दे बड़ी प्रिटी होए भावें कंबली होए
Indian people think girls have to be beautiful, they have to be pretty. She may be dumb or mad, her brain might not work, but if her face is beautiful and is fair, that's enough. She has to be fair, that's good. We don't like colour, we only like white colour. We don't like black colours. White colours are pretty. I worry because if our children are dark, their children will also be dark. Then the whole family will be dark. And Asian people don't like that. They don't like dark people.
people
They
don't like
accept
dark people.
After this conversation, I began to wonder why she felt this way. I met with Great Huxford, a history lecturer at Bristol University, who gave me some answers on why historically this may be the case.
It's not just a post-colonial hang-up, it's a post-invaders hang-up, isn't it? So if you think that the Aryans came and invaded, fair, then the Mughals, also fair, and then the British. So all along, the people who took over the country, who we would have had an inferiority complex about, were fair-skinned and possibly light-eyed. So I think there's a definitely hang-up from that.
Grace touched on the idea of colonialism, which explains why the elder generation hold on to these views. However, I wanted to talk to someone young who still feels there is a pressure nowadays. Radha Singh, who is currently bleaching her skin, spoke to me.
It's difficult because everyone out there, well, especially Asian people, they want white-skinned people. It's a struggle because, like, for instance, I'm not married yet, and I've yet to be married, but everyone I've gone to see, and when I've approached the whole marriage situation, I get rejected because of my skin. It's difficult because my skin doesn't make me who I am. My personality does, my identity does. It's pressurizing as well because I feel that when I'm out there and I'm surrounded by white-skinned people, to myself, I feel ugly. I feel like everybody around me is like prettier than me or beautiful than me, and I feel that I need to do more. So I use products like Fair and Lovely to make my skin lighter. And it shouldn't be like that. You don't pick or choose what colour you're gonna be, and but you get stereotyped for it, and for that reason, I don't agree. For me, it's hard. All I can say, for me, it's difficult to have darker skin than everybody else. You say you have features and stuff, and that can make you look good. But if you don't have the white skin, you'd still look ugly. I guess I don't want to be that black sheep. I guess I want everybody to see me as them. I don't want to be the one who gets their fingers pointed at.
Hearing her talk about the resentment she felt really hit home for me. It seems as if she knew there was more to life than being fair, she just felt it necessary to use harmful creams as a way of fitting in. This re-emphasises the point that even today, in 2016, there are pressures for young women to have fair skin. I spoke to Amy Ford, a music journalist, on her thoughts about the topic.
In my everyday work, I notice how important appearance is. Stars like Beyoncé and Nicki Minaj have been highly criticised for bleaching their skin. I mean, it wasn't until they reached a certain level of fame that they reached a certain colour of skin tone. The entertainment industry, unfortunately, puts pressure on young girls to portray a certain image, and that image is a white one. The media portrays fairer women as more beautiful than darker skinned women. And that's why there's a lot of pressure for ethnic women to be more fairer and lighter, because it isn't seen as being beautiful if you're not.
It seems harsh to me to assume that a lot of high-profile celebrities have bleached their skin to achieve this ideal perception of beauty in order to be more successful, mostly because of the hazardous risks associated with bleaching. Lightening creams usually contain substances like hydroquinone that are illegal for over-the-counter sale. Dr. Arslan Khan explains how dangerous this substance really is.
This is ingredients hydroquinone. These are no-nos.
We would use it for medical treatment of hyperpigmentation. This isn't for skin lightening as such. It's a substance that's been banned. In this country, it's restricted even for medical use. We can only use it by a doctor who will supervise its administration on a named patient basis.
For me, the risks of using these creams are terrifying. Radha, the lady I spoke to earlier, explained to me why she felt it is a risk worth taking.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but end of the day, like I said, I just want to fit in and I want to feel appreciated and loved. So if it means them affecting me in some way, well, so it be. If I'm going to get affected, I'm going to get affected. But at least my desire to be fair-skinned will come alive.
It seems now that regardless to age or generation, aspiring for fair skin is still a very prominent issue for Asian women. I spoke to a new mum, Sharon Barker, who explained her fears regarding skin colour for her newborn daughter and the challenges she feels her daughter will face due to having a darker complexion.
I'm quite fair-skinned myself, but when I got married, my husband was quite dark. I didn't have an issue with that, but when it come to having children, when my daughter was born, she was quite dark, so that was quite a big issue for me, because I was worried about what my family would say, and also whether she'll have issues when she grows up, because I know people that are quite dark and they do find it quite hard. Never actually wanted her to look at herself and feel bad because her skin was darker. I've never actually felt the consequences of being dark, but as soon as my daughter was born and she was dark, I think that's the only time that I really felt it, because I didn't want anything to affect her upbringing. For example, like when she went to school, I didn't want anyone to pick on her for being dark, or like I didn't ever want her to look through a magazine and think, I want to be lighter. So it wasn't really an issue for me until I had my daughter.
Although I have found this issue definitely has prominence, I have also discovered not everyone conforms to the viewpoint that being lighter is better. Trisha is a beauty blogger who talked to me about her opinions on the subject.
When I was kind of growing up, my sister was always the more attractive one because she's the fairer one out of the two of us. So I always felt a bit more self-conscious when I was younger, because it was just something that people talked about. When you've got somebody that is older telling you this, you kind of feel a little bit like, oh, they don't think I'm attractive because I'm darker. But then you have dark-skinned black women that are absolutely stunning and absolutely beautiful. So, which is ridiculous, because we're just talking about the colour of somebody's skin. We're not talking about their facial features. We're not talking about their personality. We're not talking about whether they've got a good heart. We're just literally looking at the colour of their skin, which is ridiculous. If you think about it, it's actually ridiculous. So I think it's a load of rubbish, but I think it's just generally an older generation of people, especially that are Indian, that think like that, because I don't think my generation of people generally think like that.
This then raises the question that are darker women subsequently rejected by the rest of their community? Not just other women, but also men. I spoke to AJ, a 25-year-old bachelor looking for an Indian bride. The only thing is, she has to be fair.
I would sort of say I prefer lighter skinned girls than girls with darker skin. I just think it's a lot more attractive. You know, the fairer skin is a lot more beautiful, got much better complexion, and I just see it as a more attractive feature to have. I don't personally think I can compromise. Like, my wife would have to be a light skinned. I'd find it quite difficult if she wasn't. It's just the appeal more than anything.
After talking to a wide range of people, it seems clear that skin colour is a huge topic of discussion within the Asian community, whether you agree with it or despise it. There is a huge pressure for young women to look a certain way, and altering something as fundamental as the colour of your skin is just wrong. Beauty comes in every shade and should be worn proudly. Simran Digpal, UE News.